In the Donations window, under Mailing, you have the ability to assign receipt numbers to donations and simultaneously make receipts. Make Receipts works much like a mail merge using a template that generates a tax receipt. Before beginning this process, ensure that you have a tax receipt template ready to use. If you do not have a tax receipt template, there are some standard tax receipt templates available on the SUMAC website, which you can customize for your particular organization. In most cases, you start this process by searching for all unreceipted donations. In the Search Type drop-down menu, choose Receipt Status. Click Unreceipted, then click Search. SUMAC shows all the donations that have not been receipted and are not either canceled or marked as non-receivable. Next, click Make Receipts. SUMAC lets you know that all the records will be processed. SUMAC does some quick analysis, then presents a summary with receipts divided based on two criteria: how donors want their receipts, annually or not, and whether or not this donation was part of a pledge. This comes in handy because you may want to generate receipts for only one or two of these groups, but not all of them. For this example, I will click to choose the donations that were not created from a pledge and not annual receipt. These kinds of donations are typical one-off or initial gifts. Click OK. SUMAC confirms that the receipt numbers will now be generated and saved to the database. Click OK. And SUMAC confirms that the receipt numbers were assigned to the donations and successfully saved to the database. Click OK. Now SUMAC needs you to specify a template for creating these tax receipts. If you have saved your tax receipt template in your database, you can select the set of templates you want SUMAC to use and click Use Set. Alternatively, if you do not have your receipt template saved into the database and instead have the template saved somewhere on your server or personal computer, click Do Not Use Set. And SUMAC will bring up a new window where you can click Choose and pick the template file from wherever you have it stored on your server or personal computer. Click OK. SUMAC then presents you with some final mail merge options for this batch of receipts. Multiple files. If you are using an RTF or docx file for your receipt template, you can choose to merge all the receipts into a single output file or into multiple files, a separate document for each receipt. Putting all the receipts in one file makes printing them much easier. But if you intend to email the receipts, then you need to put them in separate files. If you are using a PDF template, then you do not need to make a selection here. SUMAC always merges PDF receipts into separate output files so that these receipts can be emailed to each donor. PDF encryption. If you are using PDF templates, you should encrypt your receipts. This encryption option produces a receipt document that satisfies some countries' government regulations that require electronic receipts to be unchangeable. Note that if you are using an RTF or docx file for your receipt template, you do not need to use the PDF encryption options. Merge output. Finally, specify where SUMAC should put the receipts that it creates. You may have already set up a folder on your computer or office server where you will save tax receipts. In that case, find that folder and save the receipts there. If you are saving the receipts to a single output file, You can put a check mark here to tell Sumac to open the receipt file for viewing immediately after it creates the receipts. Since we are creating PDF receipts that will be saved to multiple output files, this option isn't appropriate, so I will just click OK. Sumac automatically prompts you to save a communication record for every contact you've just made receipts for. Sometimes an organization will use a receipt template that has a thank you letter attached as well. In that situation, it's quite handy to be able to save a communication record when making receipts to indicate that the thank you letter was sent as well. Since the template we used in this example does not have a thank you letter attached, I will click No for now and save the communication records later on when I send out the thank you letters. Sumac also asks if you wish to record that the donations have been acknowledged. If your organization uses the Acknowledged checkbox in donation records to mark that acknowledgement has been sent to the donor, you can click Yes. If you are not using the Acknowledged checkbox, click No. And you're done! The next time you search for unreceipted donations, none of these donations will appear. If we go to the folder where I chose to save the receipts, we can see all the receipt documents saved here. If you generated receipts for printing, you can open the saved file and see all your receipts ready to be printed and mailed. If you intend to email the receipts, use Sumac's Email Receipts command to do this. Check out more training videos to learn more about Sumac.